In Dark Sector, you play as Hayden Tenno, who's a Black Ops agent known for being brutal and not having any remorse. Basically, he's the kind of guy the agency doesn't want to talk about. His latest mission sends him into Lazria, where he's tracking down a missing scientist, and during his mission he gets attacked and he wakes up with this new metallic arm. He starts the game off as basically a normal guy, and then he grows into this superhero being. He evolves throughout the whole game, kind of like the monsters. This growth has given Hayden this large bladed glaive that pops out of his forearm, and it works sort of like a boomerang that the player can throw and retrieve from wherever it embeds. The glaive can pick up weapons from a distance, it can chop people in half on the flight out and on the way back, and much more. This demo is taking place about 1/3 into the game. So by now, Hayden's gotten a few powers on top of the glaive. It can pick up electricity and fire and a couple other elements. So if you throw the glaive into this light source, it gets electrified and it gives him electricity, so he can like throw that into enemies and electrocute them. It also has a lot of puzzle elements that we'll show you later. This game takes place in Lazria, and it's basically going through hell right now. There's a big virus that has gone around and starting to take over the whole city. The civilians are running out of the city. You're going to run into a lot of suitcases all over the world of these guys trying to get out. And these soldiers are going to be running around shooting these guys and all this other stuff. So the city's just in total chaos, and you wake up and you're just trying to figure out what's going on and where you stand. There is a lot of backstory to Lazria that we aren't revealing at this moment, but I will reveal that this thing has happened before and that the military is equipped to handle this outbreak. That is until Hayden showed up. This is the example of some of the soldiers that have gone crazy. They work together like a military group, but you know they're just shooting first and asking questions later. As you can see in this area, when I was playing, I'm using the glaive and I'm using the guns together. Hayden holds about 2 guns on him. He can hold shotguns, rifles, machine guns, stuff like that. These are all things you collect by collecting money throughout the world as you're playing. So you take the currency that you collected and you can go into the black market underground where some civilians are hiding from the soldiers and the monsters and trade money for different kinds of weapons that they're holding. The glaive is a great weapon, but we're trying to make it so everything complements each other very well. So if you run down a street, you can take the glaive and throw it down one side of the room and take out all the guys on the right side, and then mow down the other guys on the left side of the screen with a machine gun. Here Hayden will actually dig the glaive into the wall and slide down walls and stuff like that. So you're going to see a lot of interaction with the world in fun, unique ways with this powerful arm. And also the fire. Hayden can grab fire with the glaive. This is a new power to this level. When you actually enter this level, you can throw it into stuff that's burning and it'll ignite, and then you can throw it into enemies and light them on fire. Here's a really cool example of the electricity glaive and how you can actually throw it into people and electrocute them, and also it can hurt people on the way back. So I miss this guy on accident and then I recall it back through him and electrocutes him from behind. The outside area was very known, very familiar with soldiers and using cover and stuff like that to shoot guys and kill guys with standard weapons. And here the atmosphere changes to a more creepy, dark setting. So here you'll see some monster webbing that basically the monsters are burrowing in and trying to grow in strength, and I gotta find a way to light it on fire. This soldier right here has a special kind of gas. He's more equipped with dealing with the monsters. So he sprays this gas out of his backpack, and it affects Hayden too because he's infected with this virus. Right there, I just popped his gas backpack so he can't actually use it anymore. Basically what it does is it makes your vision distorted, and it makes it so you can't use your powers. So here's a gas leak from an exposed section of the floor, and I gotta find a way to light it on fire. So I gotta go, this is an example of a puzzle where I gotta combo a couple of the abilities together, which is something you learn by now in the game. Basically throw the glaive into this electric box and get electricity, and then throw it into the gas leak and it'll create fire. And now you can throw the fire glaive right into the webbing and it'll burn it. Now we're heading into the monster's den, and this one has evolved to the point where you need to actually use the glaive to rip off his armor to even hurt him. In this room, he's set up a trail of his victims to lure in the prey. And then he attacks from behind. So that was Dark Sector. It's being developed for PS3 and Xbox 360, and it's launching September.